hiding in the van. Sorting out tyres for the day. Seeing what we've got is best, because I think we're going to need the extra grip. Tired, Sam. Now it's stopped raining. This is when it blows away. Now I'm taking all these off because it's still very windy here. Oh, I'm going to leave it on now, I think. Car was lovely and clean like this, and Dad said, oh, try and avoid the puddles on the way to scrutineering, but there's that many puddles. Frankie still looks clean. So we just swapped some tyres around, got the wet setup on. I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't raced in the wet for 3 years, so we'll see how it goes. I'm in the first race as well, the whole meeting, so I don't even get to watch people's lines about what they're doing because I can't remember. So the first corner's going to be interesting, and then we'll just take it as it goes. Just hope we finish the race in one piece. way down the straight, and they're doing it all again. It was an experience. It was good. It was a good laugh. It just didn't feel like a race. It just felt like you were just doing a demonstration lap with your mates almost. I do have a big thank you to Thomas Rogers, because he chose the inside line and I chose the outside line. So he was going into the corner and understeering at the inside of me, meanwhile I was going just driving around the outside of him. So he was going in harder and later, but I could accelerate earlier. So he was at the inside and I was on the outside for about 4 laps, and I was waiting for the hit of him just being fed up of being at the inside of me for 4 laps, because he was well within his rights to do so. Just go, do you know what, you're annoying me now, see ya. But he didn't, so I'm very grateful that he just raced with me, which was good. I think we finished like 13th or something, so we'll be going out the Consolation, and hopefully this wind has dried it up a little bit by then. So we went out on a shale tyre, but we were the only one that went out on it. So we're gonna copy the majority and go on to one of these. It's brand spanker, so we should have plenty of grip. Well, as much as I am able to have in the conditions. So that's Saturday, all done and dusted. We're just on our way back to the caravan. We went out for heat 2, and when you sat in the car you couldn't really see where the dry line was, so I was overcompensating for that, and I was chucking it over the curb. Got up the inside of the 2 white tops that were dicing with each other, got into the lead, overcompensated, chucked it over the curb, which then upset the car. It went out onto the wet, like the wet line, and that was it. Managed to get tucked back in and carry on, and then moved out the way for Liam Gilbank, and that was it. Then I was on the outside. I was really frustrated myself because I said to myself, I'm not going to move over. And then I moved over, and then people just couldn't be inside. I couldn't get back in, and I was getting more and more angry with myself. Like, why did you move over? You said you weren't going to do it, and you did it. So tucked in at the back, and was driving around on the dry line, which annoyed me even more because there was so much grip on the dry line. I just thought if you'd have just stuck to that from the word go, it would have been fine. So I was really beating myself up, and my dad managed to talk me around because I really padded myself my own bum. So tomorrow is a new day. It's potentially my last meeting for the year, my last race for the year, so I'm just gonna have a good night's sleep, start afresh tomorrow. So we're here for day 2. It's very windy, but at least there's not a rain cloud in sight, so that's good. So just changing the tyres over, so we don't need as much tread because there's not any water in this place. So swapping all that over, then we're going to do scrutineering. It's day 2. now and see how the final goes, really. tyre we've got, but it was good for a day like today where it's dry and warm. But oh well, another one to add to the scrap list.